Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation on the opportunities for international companies to participate in Ukraine's post-war reconstruction. My name is Svetlana Devochkina and I am Vice Chairman ICC Ukraine for the Rebuild Ukraine program. As I explained in my introduction, I am also the founder and director of the construction company Elitbud M, which over nearly 35 years has completed more than 1,000 projects across 10 regions of Ukraine. In this presentation, I will cover the opportunities that exist for international companies in the Rebuild Ukraine program. Let's have a quick look at the scale of those opportunities. Ukraine's recovery represents one of the largest rebuilding efforts in modern history. Despite unprecedented destruction, this is not only a story of loss, it's also a story of resilience and opportunity. Resilience because Ukraine is resisting Russian aggression when many thought we would be occupied within a few days. But here we are after nearly 4 years of war. Opportunity because we are determined to build back better to create a modern European country, a democratic country, a stronger, sustainable, and innovative country. We will build back better. Today, Ukraine invites global partners to help us rebuild a modern, secure, and sustainable European nation. Let's review what we are facing when rebuilding our country. The current situation. Since February 2022, Ukraine has faced the full-scale invasion by Russia, triggering Europe's largest humanitarian and economic crisis since the Second World War. More than 150,000 buildings and 25,000 kilometers of road, 350 major bridges have been destroyed. And these statistics are, sadly, growing every day. Yet Ukraine's institutions continue to operate, the economy is adapting, and rapid recovery programs in housing and energy are already underway. This resilience demonstrates the country's determination to rebuild stronger and to align with European Union standards on its path toward integration. The government has a clear plan prioritizing recovery, particularly in the areas of housing, energy, and transport. This plan begins with estimates of the destruction we have suffered in these sectors, which I will outline on the next slide. The scale of destruction is massive. The cost of rebuilding lost infrastructure is estimated at $78 billion. Apart from the level of infrastructure damage I mentioned previously, the loss of housing has left 2.5 million families homeless and an estimated bill of $84 billion to rebuild those homes. The energy system has suffered repeated missile strikes, causing $68 billion in damages. And with 25% of Ukraine's territory contaminated by mines, it is now the most mined country in the world. This creates both an immense challenge and a powerful call for global cooperation. Demining and other infrastructure reconstruction is estimated to cost $300 billion. But we are resilient, and with the help of our friends, we will overcome these challenges. My colleague Ilya will explain the financial resources that are and will be made available, so I won't cover them here, other than to say financial issues are being resolved. What I will touch on is specific Ukrainian government support that is available, especially for foreign investors, which I will touch on in the next slide. Ukraine's reconstruction strategy offers significant incentives for investors. Industrial parks benefit from tax exemptions, customs relief, and infrastructure support. The so-called Investment Nannies Law allows the government to co-finance up to 30% of large projects worth more than 12 million euros. The government has also simplified a variety of permits to facilitate foreign investment. These policies aim to make entering the Ukrainian market faster, safer, and more profitable for international partners. I mentioned earlier that the government has set priorities for support and financing. I will cover these in the next 2 slides. Let's look at the first group of priority sectors. Construction and infrastructure present the largest opportunities, rebuilding homes, bridges, and roads across the country. In energy, Ukraine is moving toward decentralization and renewable generation, creating huge potential for solar, wind, and biogas projects. In industry, Ukraine seeks to rebuild manufacturing capacity and strengthen its position as a major European production hub, building on its traditional strengths in processing, mining, metallurgy, materials, and critical minerals, particularly rare earth metals. Then there is a second level of priority, as I will list out on the next slide. Agriculture remains a cornerstone of Ukraine's economy and global food security. The sector needs investments in technology, storage, and processing. The digital economy is booming, with over 300,000 skilled IT professionals and growing international partnerships. Another critical area is humanitarian demining. With more than 156,000 square kilometers affected, it's an urgent field for engineering, robotics, and AI-driven solutions. Traditional manual methodologies are estimated to take a couple of centuries to complete this task. We can't wait that long, so innovative solutions have to be found. As Ilya will explain in more detail, Ukraine's reconstruction is a global effort. The European Union has launched the €50 billion Ukraine facility to support recovery between 2024 and 2027. The G7 and the World Bank coordinate funding through the multi-donor platform. Over 30 partner countries have taken regional responsibility. For example, Denmark supports Mykolaiv and Greece supports Mariupol. This international engagement ensures transparency, expertise, and lasting results. Not only are foreign governments and multinational agencies supporting Ukraine, major international companies are increasing their investments in Ukraine, as I will show on the next couple of slides. Despite the war, international confidence in Ukraine is growing. Nestlé has invested $43 million in a new food factory in western Ukraine. Unilever has built a €20 million production facility near Kyiv. Kingspan is developing a $280 million innovation campus near Lviv. Bayer is expanding its seed plant in the Zhytomyr region with a €60 million investment. These projects send a clear message. Ukraine is open for business. Further proof that innovation and sustainability are at the heart of Ukraine's recovery are the examples of recent investments I will show on the next slide. Boreal Light built Europe's largest solar-powered water purification plant in Mykolaiv. Palantir is using artificial intelligence to support mine clearance and logistics. BlackRock and JP Morgan are designing an investment fund to attract private capital for reconstruction. The Ukraine Green Growth Initiative has already pledged more than $500 million for renewable energy projects. Needless to say, these investments are having a positive social impact. Beyond economics, reconstruction means restoring human lives. The process will create over 1.5 million new jobs across multiple sectors. Training programs will integrate veterans, displaced people, and young specialists. Rebuilding schools, hospitals, and communities will restore dignity and hope, strengthening social unity across the nation. We need to show the Ukrainian diaspora that there is something positive to come home to. Indeed, we need to show that Ukraine is functioning as a normal country. To support this, it is helpful to consider Ukraine's logistical infrastructure. Although commercial air travel is no longer possible, Ukraine's logistics system remains remarkably resilient. Railways continue to function and are now integrating with EU transport corridors. Danube ports like Izmail and Reni are expanding exports. After the war, the reopening of Black Sea ports will reconnect Ukraine to global trade routes, making the country a strategic bridge between the European Union and Asia. But more than anything, Ukraine's greatest asset is its people. Indeed, Ukraine's greatest strength lies in its people. The country has a highly educated and technically skilled workforce. Local companies are experienced and ready to partner with foreign investors. For international companies, collaboration with Ukrainian firms ensures faster implementation, local insight, and access to reliable labor at competitive costs. Of course, international companies are not charities, and it is reasonable for them to expect a return on any investments they may make in Ukraine. Indeed, Ukraine's greatest strength lies in its people. The country has a highly educated and technically skilled workforce. Local companies are experienced and ready to partner with foreign investors. For international companies, collaboration with Ukrainian firms ensures faster implementation, local insight, and access to reliable labor at competitive costs. Of course, international companies are not charities, and it is reasonable for them to expect a return on any investments they may make in Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, Ukraine's reconstruction is not only a national task, it's an international mission. Together we can rebuild stronger, safer, and greener. Join us and let's turn resilience into opportunity. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to working with you to support the Rebuild Ukraine program. I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations and are able to meet new colleagues and partners. Thank you again.